What do all of these things have in common? The fact that at one point or another, folks in the Escape from Tarkov community thought that they were completely impenetrable. But are they right? Which ones can you shoot through? What happens when you do? Is your bullet going to go straight through? How much damage is going to be done on the other side? Which of these are safe to hide behind? Now, interestingly enough, one of these might just be the most broken and overpowered cover in the game. Which one? Find out on this episode of Science or Sus.
Oh, bro, I'm fucking cheating.
I'm like literally... I still got it, chat. I still got it. In my time playing Tarkov, I've heard all manner of rumor and speculation about what bullets can go through and what they can't. Now, just like so many other things in the game, these rumors are born out of misunderstandings of mechanics, hearsay, unintended bugs, and can be made much worse by the fact that so much can happen so fast that what you see on screen isn't always what you get, and that our perception and memories are generally pretty unreliable. Jesse Kazam and I have talked about this countless times on the podcast, which if you don't listen to, you're missing out on.
I've kind of made it my shtick, right? The replay buffer thing. Like when I die, I almost always clip it, watch it back. I can't tell you how many countless times upon watching the clip back, I went, oh yeah, I heard his audio. I was tunnel visioned and I thought he was going to be here. And I was thinking in my head, this is going to be a sick play. And then I'm dead. And I go, what? I didn't hear any audio. And then I eat my words 13 seconds later.
This is why we do science. If we actually want to get to the bottom of what's true, we can't rely on a handful of anecdotes and our vague recollection of experiences. And with videos like this, I always end up needing a monologue explaining a bunch of obvious stuff that folks are going to assume I didn't consider unless I mention it explicitly, so for this time around I'm going to try something new and just put a disclaimer on screen for the sake of brevity. If you want to read it, pause the video. Let's start with a few of the cases that overlap with what we touched on recently in this series, bullets penetrating characters in one or more ways. Claim number 1. Bullets cannot fully penetrate character bodies or limbs, continuing on to hit other bodies or limbs. As we hopefully know by now, bullets that hit characters can penetrate fully and as a result hit other body parts of the character or other characters entirely. Now this is of course not guaranteed. The likelihood of a character's limb or body being fully penetrated depends on the penetration value of the bullet and whatever the base penetration resistance amount that BSG has set characters' bodies to have. We can see this clearly when we shoot rounds with different pen values and see how they behave. Higher pen rounds fully penetrate much more frequently than lower pen rounds, and as is the case with bullets traveling through armor, higher pen rounds have their damage and penetration values degraded less than their lower penetration counterparts. Now, I'm not going to be getting into any specifics about how much the damage or pen is reduced as it goes through different surfaces. That's probably for another video. Anybody who's ever seen the rare instance of a collateral, 1 shot, 2 kills, knows that claim number 1 is sus. Oh!
Watch where you're pointing.
But wait, isn't that overpen? Didn't you just say that this doesn't happen on the last episode? No. I debunked the logic and mechanics that some people associate with this idea sometimes. I don't know what you guys mean when you use the word, and I don't care to find out at this point. If you want people to know what you mean when you talk about shit like this, use terms or phrases that we can all agree on. Alright, moving on to claim number 2. Bullets will not penetrate chain link fences in one or more directions. This particular idea comes in a couple different flavors. Some folks think that some fences are completely bulletproof, while others think that they're only bulletproof in one direction. Of all of the different fences that I tested, I was unable to find any instances where any of them were completely impenetrable in one or more directions. Now, there was one noteworthy observation that I made, and that was with the fences shown here, the ones in Underground on Reserve. These appeared to be much more resistant to bullets than their normal counterparts. Now, they are visibly distinct from the average chain link fence found on most maps, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're handled by the devs in some unique way. Now, sometimes the bullets will travel through and do almost all of their damage with a little reduction occurring. Sometimes they'd go through and do a tiny amount of damage, almost like blunt damage through armor, and sometimes it at least appeared as if they stopped the bullets completely. It's hard to know if they blocked the bullets, if there was some weirdness with the models or the trajectory of the bullet as it passed through that caused it to miss. At this point, I really have no idea. Now, the chance to pen the fence appeared to be correlated with the penetration value of the bullet, but I was unfortunately unable to get a large enough sample size to explain some of the weird inconsistencies surrounding bullets penning these particular fences and any other special fences that you might come across that the devs may treat the same way. Now, while not all fences are created equal, and some of them might be a little bit weird and seemingly inconsistent, given that I was able to successfully shoot through all of the fences I tested, this one is sus. Claim number 3. Bullets will not penetrate metal railings on stairs. Now, you've been around the EFT community for a while if you know the old meme that railings are Class 7 armor. Now, what I can conclude from all of my testing is that these railings have the ability to block pretty much every round in the game, although I was able to shoot through it with some regularity with higher penetration bullets, although it wasn't super consistent. Lower pen bullets appear to be entirely unable to pen these railings, although I'm not 100% sure where that threshold is. I was unable to penetrate the railing at any point during my testing with 45 ACP AP, which has 38 pen, but was able to every now and then with 7.62 BP, which has 47 pen. So the threshold is likely somewhere in the middle there. This is one of those surfaces in the game where there appears to be a hard minimum penetration limit under which no ammo can penetrate, but given that I was able to pen the railing multiple times during my testing with higher pen ammo, I'm going to have to say that this one is sus. Claim number 4 is that bullets will not penetrate metal shipping containers. Now, this one isn't particularly controversial, but I have heard it mentioned every now and then when this topic comes up, so figured it was worth mentioning. Shipping containers are not bulletproof and cannot be relied on for hard cover. This one is sus. Claim number 5. Bullet penetration is different between these different types of doors. The idea that different types of wooden doors behave differently, like these on Shoreline and these two on Customs, was a new one that I hadn't heard before until recently. After testing a ton of different situations and different ammos, I was unable to find any difference between all of these doors other than the way they look. Alright, a couple quick notes here. First, you might think that the discrepancy between 45 and 46 damage is significant, but these single point of HP differences can be explained by the fact that what you see on the UI are whole numbers, but everything under the covers is decimals. When the displayed numbers are rounded, it can appear to lead to different results, but I controlled for these sorts of things in my testing. Don't worry. If the pen value of the ammo that you're shooting is relatively low, then there's a chance that the door will block the bullet. Higher pen rounds with pen values of 30, 40, and upwards tend to penetrate the vast majority of the time, so it's safe to say that you shouldn't be relying on these wooden doors as hard cover. Given that all of these doors behaved exactly the same, this one is sus. Claim number 6 is that bullets can penetrate through floors and walls of buildings, like dorms and Customs. Here is a recent clip that was sent to me as proof.
Yo,
Did I hit you through the floor?
leave my shit and go.
Wait, did I hit you? Motherfucker, answer me.
Yes.
What? No.
First of all, shout out to Breakinskullz. He's my homie and an OG Tarkov legend. His streams are entertaining as hell and you should check him out and give him a follow. Link in the description. Secondly, Skulls, that man was lying to you. He was undoubtedly sketched out thinking that you were cheating or something and was probably salty about it. But yeah, you're definitely not penetrating those floors or the walls and dorms. Unless there are some super specific areas where some of the geometries are screwed up. It's pretty much not going to happen. I tried as best I could to hit folks through the floors and dorms with the highest pen rounds in the game, and we got nothing more than some dust getting kicked up. Look straight down. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's no walls or floors or geometries that might be broken anywhere on customs or dorms. Once again, obviously I can't test everything, but what I can say is that all of the things I did test seem to be entirely impenetrable. Gonna have to say that this one is sus. Claim number 7. Bullets will not penetrate trees. Now, this is another one of the interesting cases, like the staircase railings I mentioned earlier, where there appears to be a hard penetration threshold. I tested something like a dozen different bullets, but there are two that are noteworthy. The first is 545 by 39 PS, which has 27 penetration. And with this round, it was possible to penetrate fully. But then when testing 45 ACP match FMJ, which only has 2 less pen at 25, I never once experienced a bullet penetrate all the way through. Once again, given that I was able to penetrate trees with some bullets, that means this one is also sus. Claim number 8 is the idea that bullets will not penetrate the glass on the balcony of the second floor of Interchange. Now, this was one particular case where I actually didn't get a chance to test really low pen ammo, like under 20. But for all the rounds I did test, it seems as though there's pretty much a 100% chance to penetrate, and not really a whole lot of damage, if any, is removed from the bullet as it pens. This is another claim that's sus. Hey, as a super quick note here in post, I don't feel like editing a whole other section here. I totally forgot that I also tested Emercom inside of Interchange, and the glass here was penetrable. Now, while there were a few cases where it looked as if bullets might not have penetrated, I'm actually not 100% sure if they didn't penetrate or if the lighting was off so that my aim on their little shadow was off. I only really noticed this in post, and to be honest with you guys, I'm not really sure if it's worth going back and fully testing this to try to get more information. I suppose I might if enough of you guys feel like it's extremely important. But honestly, I think you'll be perfectly fine knowing that it is penetrable, but either due to the kind of smokiness of the glass or some of its ballistic properties, you may or may not be able to hit all of your shots through it. Our second to last claim is one that has been the topic of so many debates and discussions over the years, and as my memory serves, the real answer has gone back and forth a few times in the history of Tarkov. Is the glass on the outside of the Kiba gun store in Interchange bulletproof or not? As of right now, it seems like this glass is in fact bulletproof. Even the highest pen bullet in the game, Lapua Magnum AP, with a whopping 79 penetration, did not penetrate the glass a single time in all my testing. That means that this one is science. Now on to the part that most of you have been waiting for. Earlier, we went through some of the character penetration myths, and I, of course, purposefully left one out, the most surprising and controversial one of all. Now, if you have any sense at all, you're going to want to keep a low profile while you're looting somebody out in the open. So, of course, it's commonplace to go prone. As many of us know, there isn't any character collision with dead bodies. You can just crawl right up inside them and start looting. But the question is, if you see a PMC looting this way, but can't get a clear shot on them, can you shoot through the corpse and kill them? Now, the answer is a little bit weird and comes in two parts, with both being related to something that's nearly impossible to actually quantify or properly control for in testing: the exact precise trajectory of the bullet. Now, my analysis here is admittedly a little bit subjective, and of course a little bit of speculation. I'm doing my best out here. But it seems like if you have a clear and obvious shot onto a decently sized chunk of the dead body, the bullet you fire is never going to penetrate the dead body, regardless of the bullet's stats. Now, where it gets a little weird is that as soon as you start shooting like really close to the edge of the dead character's model, what happens I can only really explain, or maybe perhaps compare, to a extremely shallow angled ricochet. Because we can see the living character get hit, hear them grunt as they take the damage, and we can see their health go down, but it's only by like 2 or 3 points. which is similar to what happens when you get shot in your helmet and the bullet ricochets off of it. Basically a couple of points of blunt damage, but you're otherwise not really hurt too bad. Now again, it can be really hard to know the exact path of the bullet to know if it actually intersects with any part of the character model or what exactly is going on here, but that's the best way I can describe what I see here in my testing.
Using it in my HP, right?
I don't take damage.
I saw its helmet flick back. Okay, yeah. You can't hit me! Bruh, I am literally Jesus.
So with all of that in mind, I'm going to have to say that this claim is science. Personally, this seems to be a massive bug or oversight, so I made sure to mention it to Nikita, and he said that he's going to look into it. Now, before you go hiding in every dead body you see, feeling like some sort of sneaky, unkillable god, it's important to know a few interesting details regarding what you see on your screen and how that might differ from what other people see on theirs. That will be in a future episode. Stay tuned. The final thing I want to show is less of a debunking and more of a morbid curiosity. The reptilian depths of my brain had to know how many PMCs you could kill with a single bullet. Now, before I show you how that all went, I wanted to thank a few people really quickly. Big thanks to Ryan, at Squish17 on Twitter, for the top-tier name idea for this series. Thanks to all of the folks who take the time to be a ballistics dummy for these tests. Your sacrifices for science will not be forgotten. Get closer, whoever these two guys are in the back. Everybody get the fucking nuts to butts.
Nuts to butts, fuck.
Marvelous. Закрепляемся.
Yeah, shooting the ground. Shooting the...
Unite.
Shut
Nice
the
work, fella.
fuck
Body.
up for a second, Jesus Christ.
Roger that.
Thanks to everybody who's been commenting and tweeting suggestions for myths for me to test and debunk. Please keep them coming. I'm writing everything down and I want to answer them all. And finally, a huge thanks again, as usual, to the legends that support me on Patreon. Everybody that supports me there, new or old, even if it's for only a few dollars a month, makes content like this possible. If you think the information and entertainment that I provide is worth it, consider clicking the link in the description and becoming a patron. Alright, so to answer the final question, how many PMCs can you kill with a single bullet? That should be good. We got 3! Oh, God. All right. No, everybody line up again. Oh, the anticipation.
What the fuck am I doing?
Oh.
Why you gotta do this?
How many was it? Was that another 3? Yo, thank you all for your service. Nobody move. Oh, God. You guys can... I'll just line up. No, step away from the tree. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. Nope. Yep, nope, everything's fine. Sir! Sir! You motherfucker! Everybody take a seat in the bus. We're going for a ride. This is where I shrink us down and we go inside of Nikita's body.
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal...
Tarkov raid.
With Veritas.
90s kids get that reference. All right, everybody stand like as close as you can to me right now and just like look towards the body and take a screenshot. Does anybody's look different than mine?
Not on my screen, no.
Mine's different, but only slightly.
Can you say that? I'm fucking... PC bug.
Is the body look the same as my stream?
Yeah.
Yo, what are you looking at, dog? You're not looking at your body, are you?
No, I'm my PC's dog shit, so it's like it's slow. So I'm trying to look to the ground for most FPS, you know, most performant.
Can we get a GoFundMe for my homeboy?
Is this man doing the GoldenEye 60?
Fuck the shit out of this thing.
GoldenEye 64 fucking speedrun strats?
That's right, you see that clutchness? I am fucking clutch! Look at this fucking line I take. I'm like, yeah, baby, let's fucking do this. I wait. Right when he starts firing, they're trying to back push me, the double.
All right, now everybody.